You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
I'm going to need your full name, date of birth, and social security number, please.
Sure, understood. Here it comes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another special edition of the Hacking Humans podcast. This is an occasional series we call Hacking Humans Goes to the Movies. I'm Dave Bittner from the CyberWire, and joining me is my Hacking Humans co-host, Joe Carrigan from the Johns Hopkins University Information Security Institute. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Dave.
On this show, Joe and I look at clips from some of our favorite movies, clips which demonstrate some of the scams and schemes we talk about over on Hacking Humans. And joining us once again this week is Rick Howard. He is the CyberWire's Chief Security Officer and Chief Analyst. Hello, Rick.
Hey, guys. Great to be here once again.
Good to have you back. We've got some fun clips to share this week, so stay tuned. We will be right back after this message from our sponsor. All right, let's dig into some clips this week. Joe, why don't you start things off for us?
My clip comes from the movie. I can't believe we didn't do this first, but it's actually the opening scene of the movie Identity Thief, starring Melissa McCarthy and Jason Bateman. This movie is okay. It's not a great movie, but this opening
that's a
scene,
rousing endorsement, Joe.
Right, way to sell it, Joe.
But this opening scene is awesome. This opening scene is a perfect example of an identity theft scam. So, Dave, why don't you go? We don't even need to talk during this because it's a phone call.
All right.
So let's let it go.
All right.
Hello, this is Sandy Patterson.
Yes, Mr. Patterson, I'm Janine from the Fraud Protection Department of Identivolt Credit Monitoring Service. We're calling today because, unfortunately, it appears that someone has attempted to steal your identity.
Are you kidding me?
Gosh, I wish I were. We did catch this in time, however, but I do suggest you taking advantage of our free Total Protection Plan, which safeguards your credit rating against theft and fraud.
Yes, please. If it's free, absolutely.
Just terrific. I went for this plan myself. Mr. Patterson, I'm going to need to verify some information from you. I'm going to need your full name, date of birth, and social security number, please.
Sure, understood. Here it comes.
And that's the beginning of the movie. Now, the funny part of this scene is that Melissa McCarthy is sitting in a mall, obviously with a water fountain running behind her. This is exactly how these scams work. Somebody calls you up on the phone. They tell you something that is scary, like we just stopped an attempted identity theft on you.
Good news.
Right. Bad news and then good news. But the good news is we can help you. So give me the information and we'll make it happen. All I need, it's free. Just give me your name, address, birth date, and social security number, which is essentially all the information you need to steal someone's identity.
Yeah.
And then this movie goes on where Melissa McCarthy's character steals Jason Bateman's character's identity and makes his life miserable, and he decides to go after her because the cops won't do anything about it.
Okay. What do you make of this, Rick?
What I thought was an especially nice touch is when he agreed to take on the protection plan. And then Melissa McCarthy says, "Oh yes, I did that plan too. I love it." That's a nice little spin on that. All right.
Yeah. What struck me is how she really had that tone of a customer service person down.
Right.
Hello, we're calling because of this. Oh, that's terrific. Very good. Let me patch you through. She had that tone and cadence down perfectly.
This is something that's come up in my family many times this last month or two, and I've got my kids and my wife trained to never say yes to it, so they all come running to my desk when those things happen. So I think achievement unlocked, all right? I've got them
very good.
Joe and I were just talking about this on Hacking Humans. Joe, I'll let you sort of explain it here, but you made the point to never take inbound calls.
Right, yeah. When somebody calls into you and they say, they tell you whatever it is. We were talking about a bank in particular, specifically a bank. So if your bank calls you and they say, we have a problem, the first thing you should say is, okay, what's your extension at the bank? I'll call you back at the main number and go through your switchboard operator to get back to you. Mm-hmm. That is always okay to do. It's always absolutely okay. Now, this scam is a little bit different. This is a supposed identity protection scam or company that actually, if you said that and then you went and looked them up online, they may even go so far as to have a fake website up with a phone number that just calls back to the scammer.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that when you're getting these calls, if you haven't ever heard of this company, you don't do business with this company, you just hang up.
Yeah. And if it's a problem with your bank, hang up and call your bank.
Right. Call the number on your statement.
Not the number they give you.
Not the number they give you. Never call the number they give you.
No. Yeah. All right. Well, that is a fun one. I have our other clip this week. And my clip comes from a movie called The Flim Flam Man.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
this
good one.
is a 1967 film. This was directed by Irvin Kershner. You guys recognize that name?
Is that was he related to Don Kershner?
I don't know, but he directed a little movie you might have heard of called The Empire Strikes Back.
Ah,
what?
Yes. So
amazing that I'm not familiar with that name.
I think I totally lost my nerd credentials for not knowing that answer. Okay.
He directed Empire Strikes Back. So this obviously was directed way before that. My understanding is that he was Kershner was a teacher of George Lucas at USC Film School. And so when it came time to do Empire and George didn't want to direct, he reached out to Irvin Kershner and asked him to do it, and he did, and the rest is history. So This movie, The Flim Flam Man, again, 1967, and this is starring George C. Scott, Michael Sarrazin, and in this clip also Slim Pickens is in this clip as well.
Whoa. All right.
So
some old timers here.
Some real characters. And George C. Scott plays a gentleman named Mordecai C. Jones. He's a self-described MBS, CS, and DD, master of backstabbing, corkscrewing, and dirty dealing. And he's a con man who makes his way going around the southern U.S. and conning people out of their money. So he befriends this young man named Curly, who is played by Michael Sarrazin. And this particular scene has to do with them basically doing a scam that's popularly known as a pigeon drop. So here is my clip from The Flim Flam Man.
Lad, look at that one. A belt full of tobacco money and a belly full of beer.
So they're looking at a guy who just came out of a bank. And it's Slim Pickens is the guy they're going to go after. He was a guy wearing overalls and a straw hat. Looks like a farmer. Certainly this is a small rural town. So Slim Pickens looks down an alleyway and he sees a wallet on the ground.
It's got money sticking out of it.
Yep.
Hold on there. I seen it first. I saw that.
Maybe you did, but I got it. And possession's just 9/10 of the law.
Possession? My foot. I saw that wallet before you did, and it's rightfully mine.
You listen to me, old-timer. I got it, and I ain't gonna be giving it to you.
You ain't gonna do anything else, boy. You young smart aleck, you. Now, I'm warning you for the last time you hand that over to me or...
Pardon me, gentlemen. Forgive my intruding, but I saw the whole incident from right over there across the street there.
What's it got to do with you?
Well, that remains to be seen, sir. But unless you are trying to attract the police, I suggest that the three of us can settle this little dispute amicably, like gentlemen.
Wait a minute. The three of us? Now, just where do you come in?
Well, we all three saw the wallet, young fella. Any one of us could holler for the law, might collect a handsome reward, too. But I suggest that we get to someplace a little less conspicuous before the
This is the old changing the venue.
Maybe you're talking some sense, mister.
Shall we?
Here, you better hold
Walk
back.
down the alley a little ways to get out of
You
the
will?
street.
Right.
Friends, we have struck it. There's exactly $1,600 in cash here and a
cow.
check for another 1,000. Hot damn! Hot diggity damn!
Hey, there's a name in there, ain't there?
Oates, Mr. Titus Oates.
That's an awful lot of money. Maybe we ought to try and locate the owner and settle for a reward.
Hellfire, boy. I ain't about to go hunting for no owner. Why, it's losers, weepers, finders, keepers where I come from.
What are you suggesting, sir? A simple three-way split? Because if you are, I suggest we try cashing the check.
I don't know. That's pretty dangerous.
I wouldn't risk it. Too many people know me. I just sold my tobacco crop up at the auction there.
If the only one of us was a stranger in town, I might risk it.
$1,000.
Now,
Hold on now. Maybe you ought to...
all right. I'll try. Well, now, see here. I think I ought to see a little something from you, too, if I'm going to risk going into that bank.
How much, mister?
500? You holding that much, ain't you? Tell you what, you two put 500 in here. I'll go to the bank. That'll make, if I get the 1,000, 3,600. That'll be $1,200 for each of us. That seem reasonable to you?
Hell no.
Sounds pretty fair to me.
Yeah.
Hey, this is pretty big money for back then.
He's counting out
$500
ones.
flapping around. Okay.
100, 2, 3, 5. But we keep the wallet right here.
Yeah, that's right.
That way we don't run no risk of him skedaddling on us.
Why, don't worry me none, Sonny. You two stick here. You can keep an eye on each other for me.
So the Mark is counting out his $500. Handing it over. So they distract him. George C. Scott swats the money out of the wallet, puts fake money back in the wallet while they're looking the other
I
way.
think a policeman.
No, don't recognize nobody. Now, who's
They
going
give the wallet to the Mark.
I will.
I'll hold it.
And he thinks he has $1,600 in the wallet, but there's nothing.
Yeah, and George C. Scott is walking away, walking out of the alley to go cash the check, is what he's saying he's going to do. So now...
He runs
I don't
away.
know.
Right?
He's been gone over 30 minutes now. I think we ought to go look for him.
That's a good idea. I think we better go look for it. Wait a minute. Maybe I ought to wait here in case he comes back the other way. But it wouldn't hurt for you to go look for him. You know, I wouldn't trust one of them city slickers any further than I could spit against a hurricane.
So Curly suggests they split up so he can go looking for him.
Yeah, Curly walks off and then walks back to look down the alley, and he sees Slim Pickens is running away as fast as he can with what he thinks is the wallet full of money. But of course, he's been taken for his $500. And that is the clip from the Flim Flam Man. What do you guys think of that?
I love the way that this works because, you know, presumably Slim Pickens thinks that Sarrazin is a local. And so they could run into each other, in another day. And they've both been taken here. That's what Slim Pickens thinks as he's running away, right? But he takes all the money, right? So that's a really nice little detail here.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe, what do you make of this?
It's what I love about this clip is they're playing on Slim Pickens' greed, right? Like they get him inside, and Curly suggests, Saracen suggests we find the guy that owns the wallet, right? We look for him, and Slim Pickens like, no, we keep it. Finders keepers. That's the way I live my life, So it's like, okay, so from a viewer's perspective, you're not watching somebody who is an innocent person getting scammed. You're watching somebody who probably has it coming. So you get a little.
That's right.
Makes you root for the bad guys a little more.
That's nice, Joe. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And also that they're taking this scam to the next level in that they have the wallet full of cash,
right?
But then the check is another level. So, hey, listen, we could split this cash, but there's $1,000 check in here. Isn't it worth risking that to see if we can even get even more money? And as I think, Rick, you pointed out, this is a lot of money for the late 1960s, right?
Right.
Well, and the check is the exit plan, right? That's how George C. Scott extricates himself from the situation. That's how he's out of the scene. Right now, it's just the other two guys, right? So, yeah, that's a nice little touch, too.
And the nice part is that another excellent part of the scam is that Slim Pickens removes himself from the scam and leaves Michael Saracen's just standing there. He doesn't have to run away from him because Slim Pickens does the running.
Yeah, and thinks that he's taken the scammers when he's actually the one who's lost his money.
That seems to be our running theme in the clips we've shown so far in these segments is the con guys try to make sure that their marks don't think they were conned, right, as they walk away. So there's no danger of getting caught later, which I really like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder how long it would take for Slim Pickens to figure it out. When he goes through that wallet, he's going to see that the money's been swapped out. That they're fake bills in there now,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he finds a place to, when he stops running and finds a place to open up that wallet and look over the money that he thinks he's stolen, then the jig is up. But by that time, the scammers, of course,
are long gone.
They're long gone. They're out of town.
That's what I want to hear. What's the next scene? Where is that? George C. Scott and Michael Saracen running to a car in their rusty old truck and running out town? Is that what they're doing? Because that's not what looks like happens at the end. They're just kind of contemplating how fantastic they were.
Yeah, well, I mean, this movie tracks sort of their exploits as they go from place to place, and it doesn't always go smoothly for them. There is a town that kind of gets wrecked as they try to make an escape in their truck. So there's some of that as well. But for my money, you look at an old movie like this, and one of the things that strikes me is, boy, movies used to be paced a lot slower than they are today, right? That's one thing. But then, I mean, you got an actor like George C. Scott, and you got Slim Pickens in there.
Yeah,
you could just watch these guys do anything. It's just delightful to see them at their craft.
I don't recognize Slim Pickens until I hear his voice.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, because growing up, Blazing Saddles was a movie I watched, and he has some great lines in that movie.
When I hear
got to go back and get a mess of dimes.
When I hear Slim Pickens, I only see him writing the nuclear bomb down from
Dr. Strangelove. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. But he is one of those folks. You hear his voice, you know exactly who he is, and he's perfect in this movie.
It's true. Yeah.
All right, well, those are our clips. We will have links to those in the show notes. If you would like to check them out for yourself, we encourage you to do so. We would love to hear from you if there are some clips from movies that you would like us to check out here on our Hacking Humans Goes to the Movies special editions. You can send them to us at hackinghumans@thecyberwire.com. We want to thank the Johns Hopkins University Information Security Institute for their participation. You can learn more at isi.jhu.edu. The Hacking Humans podcast is proudly produced in Maryland at the startup studios of Data Tribe, where they're co-building the next generation of cybersecurity teams and technologies. Our senior producer is Jennifer Iben. Our executive editor is Peter Kilpie. I'm Dave Bittner.
I'm Joe Carrigan.
And I'm Rick Howard.
Thanks for listening.